Sunday, YouTube. Sunday Funday. Okay, now today I am retesting an old microphone. We'll see if it works, and if it does, hopefully I won't have to project so much. You know, I won't have to talk over the music or the road traffic, so should be good. Should be better, I hope. You'll have to tell me. Oh, respect wins. Oh, well, respect, you can help me with something. Now that I have you one-to-one. I'm testing this microphone, if you wouldn't mind. Okay, can you hear the taps? And also, can you hear me when I walk away? Okay, I'm gonna say a word when I walk away. I need you to confirm you heard it, okay? All right, can you still hear me? Can you still hear me? The secret word is Beelzebub. Okay, we'll see if this works. Works good, yes. Is the vocal quality better? Because I want you guys to be able to hear. Okay, thank you. Here's the other test. I want to see if it picks up the music at all, or if it's, you know. Yes, yes, thank you. Mwah. Thank you. Appreciate that. You're so helpful. Okay, well then, I think we're good. I stopped using the mic because when I wore the karate outfit, it was just... The Beige God. Interesting. Says, I'm OG. Yeah? Not more OG than respect. Remember, I've talked to a couple people on the channel that have that experience. Monsieur God. Respect says, yes, I can hear the music as well. I like this better. Oh, perfect. Okay, I should have been doing this the whole time. But again, I kept doing karate and kept launching it across the room. Or I'd forget about it. And so if I forget about it, let me know. I've got 2 clenched fists. Okay, max intensity. Sounds like you're doing it. Why did you change your name from karate? My back problems are too bad. I can't keep doing karate. It's gonna cripple me. So, and people weren't even coming for the karate anymore. It's been a while. But most people are here for everything that happens outside of karate, so. Now we can hear you grunt and groan. That wasn't a sexy one, I'm sorry. Yeah, well, and here's the other thing. Yeah, sorry, Beige. I'll still talk karate if you want to talk shop. I mean, people from the old days still come back. Ooh. Well, if you like it, I like it. I mean, here's the thing, Beige. I'm gonna keep calling you Beige. I threw a hammer fist this way, which is in our basic kata, and I threw my neck out for months, and I have only recently stopped having nerve problems from it. So, you know, at a certain point, it's like, okay, I can do karate for 6 more months and then never again, or I can not focus on combat sports and on, you know, most people are here again for like how I deal with the trolls. They're here for, you know, that's the other thing, I don't have to speak at the camera all the time with the microphone. So, you know, it just became clear that people were saying things like, this is a comedy channel, the karate is like, it's not related. You know what I mean? So I followed followed what people were coming here for, and it's taken off, so, you know, that's great. It's a lot less pressure for me too, and frankly, you know, it's like, when you're doing martial arts and that's like your thing, at least for me, if I want to do it, I want to live the lifestyle. You know what I mean? I want to like do it every day. I want to make all of my life about it, but I can't do that because my body, it doesn't work for my body. You know, it does work, very gentle workouts, and I still get intense, I still get strong. You're probably looking at some bigger guns than you remember, but you know, it's just one of those things where it's like, I can choose the wise course of action and have a good time and have a long, healthy life where I'm mobile, or I can do karate for a very finite amount of time. And it's just not worth it, you know? I have more to bring to the table than just karate. Ricky says, push up to 70. Fensky says, hey, me king. Hello, me subject. How are you? Have you paid your taxes? The tax is a thumb. Okay, but I'm lazy about collecting. Ricky says, W. I can't do 70 push-ups. I am doing push and pull today, so we will see some pushing and some pulling. But it's going to be way less than 70. Okay, just getting the pump in. Yeah, I mean, the bulk's working. Oh, it's working. Oh. Here's a test. Can you hear this? Respect. Can you hear my vocal tones enough to pick it up? Because if so, then I can stream for a lot longer if I don't have to speak loudly. How much you strong? Well, it depends on how you measure it, you know? I think like 6 months ago, I did a one arm pull-up. I don't know. Very deep masculine. Good. Here's the thing. Respect. This is my actual voice. In order to project over the music and to like get the sound all the way there, I've had to like increase the tension, which brings the pitch up a little bit higher, right? So this is going to be huge. Oh shit. Lori Wolf says, very gay little man. Haha, joke's on you. I'm a very gay, very little man. We're testing the microphone. From come along. Okay. Chris says, Kyle. Hi, Chris. I've brought the microphone back from the old days. I just, you know, it turns out when you're not doing like this shit and flicking it across the room and losing it for 3 months, works a lot better. Here's the problem. When the shirt comes off, we'll have to test, you know, like the belly button mic, but I don't think anyone will have a problem with that. Saitama says, where's Tristan, bro? Tristan, look, I was able to literally suck my way out of prison, okay? Tristan is normally, you know, I'm more of a receiver and Tristan is a producer. What number was just there? God damn it, I can look, hold on. I need to pay better attention. See, and now I can talk to you when I'm like away from the camera too. It was a 6, okay. How we doing on Sunday, party people? 1747. We're getting there. Respect says, sorry, bouncing back and forth from another channel that I'm moderating. It averages around 100 viewers at a time, so it gets wild. Well, Respect, hey, if you've got a job to do, don't let me take you away from it, you know? I'll probably be going until maybe 1:30 my time, so like 4:30 your time. But then I'll do a later stream this evening. So, you know, if you gotta go, don't worry about it. I know we'll always see you around here. FC posts the pride flag. Hi. Chris says, hi, Respect. Respect says, I'm here. I know you are. I know you are. But I never want you to put yourself out for me. You know what I mean? I know you got to take care of you. I get it. Mr. Cowboy's got responsibilities. I understand. And I love you for it. There's 119 people going nuts in the other chat. Christ. Hi, Chris. Yeah, you got your work cut out for you then. I wonder what kind of trolls they get. And if this person is also called gay 140 times a stream. I don't know. I don't know. You tell me. God, it's so much nicer being able to talk at like a normal volume. It's, oh my God. My throat is going to be very appreciative. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Last warm-up set, then we'll get into the actual meat and taters. Meat and taters. Some call it a Kaiser blade, I call it a sling blade. Respect says, it's like your chat on roids. Well, okay. And see, that's where it's like, I am under the impression, and it sounds like I'm right, that all the trolls are kind of the same. You know, everyone gets asked to do a backflip. Everyone gets told they're gay. Everyone gets told, you know. I bet you, in these other chats, they're like, fucking breeding snakes wouldn't work in a street fight. I don't know. One of the lives that I watch a lot is there's a reptile dude, and then there's also a chameleon breeder. Oh, they're so cute. Their little eyeballs. Their little hands. So cute. My gourd. Yeah, if it makes you feel any better, Respect, if you got to do moderation stuff, I'll probably be popping the shirt off in like 20, 30 minutes, you know? So, you know, I want to make sure you get the highest quality stuff. Okay, arms are getting a little fatigued. Let's do the rotators just a little bit. Okay. Here's the other thing. I'm gonna make sure I have this mic for the next phone I'm gonna get. Is this the USB-C? USB-C, yeah. Cool. All right. Arms are definitely feeling pumped. Ricky, what exercises have you done? Just the battle ropes today to warm up. Now I'm gonna do pushing and pulling on the rings. Yeah, see, we've already got a pump going. So, Respect says, I don't block or ban. I just drop links in Vibe. Channel owner does the blocking. I like it that way. That's nice. Then it's, you know, it's less about, well, yeah. I mean, you understand why it's better. Dat boy Clippy says Andrew Snake. Ooh, I like that. Not only is he a snake, but I like snakes. They're very cute. You think I don't like a good ouch spaghetti? Okay. A tiny little danger noodle. All right. So you can see some of the other, there are a couple other heavy hitters, but these are the ones that get called out the most. Hey, up here. Dennis says, fire, Kyle. Hi, Dennis. Do you like the microphone situation we got going on? Amber Waves of Grain says, I watch her too. Oh, they're so cute. Fucking love it. Respect says it's all out troll warfare in his chat. It's funny as fuck. Chris says this the scat guy doesn't get called gay for some reason. Yeah, well, I don't know. Maybe you just go far enough into the deep end somewhere and people, you know. Okay. Yeah, this is good. This is good. Okay. I'm gonna make sure I get this other mic. Okay, between 1 and 4. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right. Hold, hold. Why'd the music stop? There we go. Okay, you guys understand. I forget now you can hear that now. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, this is right. Okay. Yep. Nope. Yep. Perfect. All right. We're set. Hi, everyone. Dennis says, have you ever damaged any nerves in your body? Those are the worst. Yes, I have, Dennis. And it takes forever to heal, like a year or two. Yeah, Dennis. Again, you come to the one-stop shop. So I have nerve issues, like on the left half of my body. I have less sensation. Like I don't detect sharp the same way. So I've got that all the way down. Okay. I also have, I got a blood draw for a test. Ended up being totally unnecessary, so it's great. They sliced a nerve in here, and for like several months, I had spider webbing, burning, nerve pain. You already know. So, you know, I had the spider webs, the lightning all the way down. I couldn't grip anything for several months. After about 3-4 months, I was able to hang from this arm. This was 3.5 years ago. So it was from here to here 3.5 years ago. So I have healed in, again, 3.5 years. I gotta find it. There. So I've healed this distance in 3.5 years. So I got probably another maybe year. Because when I run my hand up like this, it feels like static, lightning. I mean, it's just those nerves aren't healed. It's like a millimeter a month or something. Poor Gamer says Americans are uncultured for having carpets everywhere. I agree with you. I prefer hardwood floors. Yeah, boy Clippy says I have nerve endage at the tip of my Peter. Damn dog. Respect says okay, phew. He ended his stream for a bit, just to allow you to breathe. You know. Poor Gamer says liquid Tate. Did you already vote Tate though? I don't think so. I think that was someone else. So yeah, Dennis. Sensei Johnny Sins, thank you. Zesty Andrew Tate type shit. Okay, that's 2 Tates. 2 Tates and a Sensei Johnny Sins. Thank you, Dennis. You keep using my formal title. 50. And Johnny Sins. Finish him. Oh, we can do the better voices now. Finish him. See? So much better. You get my actual vocal tone. Seriously, talking like this is like the equivalent of laying down spread eagle after sprinting, you know? Quang says, you live in Cali? People are still trying to figure out where I live. Igloo says, so cute. Quang says, I just had all you can eat Peking duck. They do all you can eat for that? That's crazy. What a good value. Poor Gamer says, Alexa, play Ram Ranch. What is that? What is that? Poor Gamer. Or do I have to say gamer? Play says, if you're still online talking, did you really have all you can eat? Quang says yes. Play says, I think you could eat more. Quang says, Han Palace in Georgetown, probably. But you don't want to feel sick. Probably could. Oh, well, duck is rich. Peking duck is very rich. I can't imagine trying to stuff yourself completely on it. That would be a lot. Okay, let's get moving. So we're just going to warm up. I mean, we're still warming up, but this is like a sort of work set. Clippy says, how many ducks did you eat? Quanji says, 2 orders. Yeah, yeah. Yep. Okay, little mechanical drop set. Okay, can't go to failure quite yet in the workout. Sunday, everyone. Between me and a friend. Oh, I don't know, Quang, you know. I might have opted for 3. Yuval says, can you be my daddy? I can't be your father, but can I be your zaddy? I mean, I think I'm capable. Quang says, I hear there's no real Peking duck in the States. Oh, I would 100% believe that. I'm sure it's, you know, for the American palate, you don't know. You know, it's good enough, but yeah, I would totally believe that. Because I mean, well, my dad said, I forget I don't have to shout. My dad, he grew up in Hong Kong, and he would say, like, yeah, the Chinese food they have here, it's nowhere near. It's like, it's effectively like if you sprayed fucking hamburger helper cheeseburger seasoning on everything, you know. But luckily, that has also meant that because half my family speaks Chinese, Cantonese specifically, we'll go to like quote unquote legit spots and they'll ask in Cantonese, like, hey, can you give us the real deal? And they're like, oh, shit. You know, my family's white as hell, so it's always very surprising. I do not speak Cantonese. Freebird says, I have radial, the radial side is this side. Right, ulnar radial. Nerve pain from a blown distal bicep tendon. Oh, tingling is crazy. Dude, and Freebird, a lot of people don't understand, it's like, how, it's like, what do they call it? Chinese water torture, except it's actual pain and stuff. Like, it's maddening just brushing my arm, it'll light up. And it's been that way for years. And I've just had to get used to it, you know? Like, that's my normal. Chris says, how are things in the dojo today? Pretty good. I've been super busy this weekend. I'm doing a very big editing push before, well, some exciting things are happening on the channel. So I've just got to dot my I's and cross my T's, and then everything will be good. I'll be done today, but I've essentially just been, I've edited probably 20 hours of footage this weekend, something like that. Yuval says, actually, you look like Moist Critical without hair. But did you already vote, Yuval? Now I gotta check. You did. I'm sorry. That's the thing, Yuval. You only get the 1 vote, and if you're new to stream, you don't know you have a vote until after you cast it. It's sort of the rule. So now, if you want another one, you have to come back. All right. Poor Gamer says Ram Ranch is a rock country song about cowboy stuff. Clippy says, how many pecan D's did you swallow? Oh boy, those grunts. Oh, so the microphone is good. Okay, good. Quang says, I was in jail with a triad member. Even before Quang dropped that lore, he was not somebody to fuck with. Okay? Quang doesn't need any of that extra stuff to be, you know. Oh, that's so funny. I'm so glad to have you back, Quang. And I'm glad you're free. You can see I go pretty deep here. A little external rotation at the top. It's very gymnastics ring thing. Okay, Christ. Oh. Okay. Oh my God, you see that? See how much blood? Oh man. It's working. Respect, I've never seen the scat guy in my algorithm. Thank heavens, yes. Quang says, anyone see The Odyssey? I didn't. I heard mixed reviews. I heard it was good, but I also heard that like the cast was so A-list that like a couple of them like phoned it in, you know? Like people are suggesting that it's more about the celebrity status versus like the Punisher guy. I heard his acting was like kind of eh. I feel like he's the same sort of dude in everything, you know? He yells a lot. I'm making a protein shake and I can still talk to you. That's the cool part. I can still be engaging and get things done. Okay. We got the cashew milk. Now we do 2 scoops of the protein, which is 50 grams. It's kind of my upper limit for protein shakes. Beyond that, I feel like I'm not really absorbing all of it. And then 5 grams of creatine. Okay, that in performance enhancing creatine. This is so nice, you guys. I can speak softly. Don't blow out my voice. Still chatting with any and every one. Clippy says, great Mario game. MCX says, how do I unsubscribe? It's to unsubscribe, you actually, there's a bell notification icon. You want to enable that, okay? It'll ring the bell, which will dispel the evil spirits, aka this guy. Respect says, it's nice that the mic picks up the music more and your voice is more clear. That's great, and I wish I had been using it this whole time, you know? But after the karate stuff, it was just so bad. The feedback was bad. Like, so I should have been doing this the whole time. Clippy says, Alt F4. Alexa, Alt F4. Quang says, dollar Quang. It looks like Quang-G to me, but it's Quang New. Yuval says, I ate Peking duck in Taiwan. Melt in your mouth, also way cheaper. Yeah, well, it's the American way. Make it worse and more expensive. Quang says, I love Hamburger Helper. I want to go to Taiwan someday. I love Hamburger Helper because I was partially raised on it. You know, I like just the regular beef version. like the beef pasta. Cheeseburger's okay. Stroganoff is like my close second on the H helper. Poor Gamer says, do you know Chinese mafia secret fighting styles? I don't. Knowing Quang, he's probably got 20 different contacts in every single corner of the earth. Quang says, I hear the club scene is fire. Ooh. I would hope so for a place like that. I'm sure they get a decent amount of tourists, but it's also probably a little more modernized than the rest of the country, you know? Poor Gamer says, so you basically saying you indeed are Temu Tate. I mean, am I cheaper and affordable? Yes. The difference, unlike Temu, is that I actually deliver on the things that I promise you guys. Okay? Little pullover, halfway through, sort of a vertical-ish row. Okay, okay. Oof. Oh. I'm so pumped my T-Tos are gonna pop out. Look, I'm tearing my clothes open. You've also says, yeah, great clubs, great people, super nice. Chris says, how do you say, can you give us the real deal in Cantonese? That's a great question. I asked my dad to teach me, but he's like, it's too complicated. Nathan says, looks like Osmongold, I think you meant Asmongold, with a sprinkle of Cyrax. From Mortal Kombat? Cyrax. Is that his name? Do I have... Asmongold isn't on this board. Okay, so we'll have to pull out the bonus board. Okay, here are the most common contenders. Asmon Diamond. Quang says the triad member ended up flipping. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. Hope he likes witness protection. Oh man, I assume they have something like that. I could be wrong though. He was a millionaire. Oh, well, then maybe he's fine. All right. Asmongold. Let's check the totals for that one. Oh, okay. You were the fourth person to call me Asmongold. Feels like that number should be higher. I don't know. Marin says, can we get a 1-minute plank while telling us an embarrassing story of yours? Yeah, maybe towards the end of the workout, if I remember. Quang says, in charge of the triads in Guatemala. Respect says, I've never had cashew milk. It's good. It's the nuttiest of milks that I've had. Michael Blackson says, bro, are you able to do any cock push-ups? I mean, just the one, right? Can you do more? Respect says, I've never had creatine either. Respect, you're a very all-natural kind of man, which I heavily respect. Gives you a little extra pep. Surfboard says, yo, fruity dude. What is up, my guy? I'm gonna have to hide this because of the words, Chris, but the scat guy isn't quite that per se. He farts heavily and then with a finale defecates. Wow. Wow. That's allowed? That's allowed? Quang says, I ate a low-tier version of Hamburger Helper in jail. I'm sure the packaged foods, like the processed stuff is, you know, because you're not going to get fresh shit, right? They don't exactly bring in fresh oranges for everybody. Okay, I'm going to do... I'm going to do parallettes for the rest of my push. I think for pull, I'm going to keep doing the verticals. So what did I just do? I need to do push again. Respect says, my uncle's a movie actor, and he lives in Thailand. The food in the States is definitely different. Yeah, they got to make it for our overblown taste buds that have been eroded by salt and vitriol. Quang, that's funny. Dennis, I think we reached the stage of friendship where you know my real name. It's Daniel. Danny boy. I'm sorry, I won't call you that. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate that. For your own purpose, do you want me to call you Daniel? Or do you want me to keep you as Dennis? I don't want to dox you constantly. Respect says, Cyrax is a lol cow from the tomb. Oh, okay. Is this like a large woman? There was one woman that was like taking body shots from Ryan Garcia. She had a nickname, I can't remember. He got caught with 10 bricks. Jesus, that'll do it. That'll do it. Jot says, make America straight again, Donald Trump. Donald Trump is not straight. No. No. You've heard him talk about men's bodies before, okay? Radical says, careful, there's a cockroach on the wall. Ass Mongold. Okay. I'm gonna... Let's see, can we see the board from here? All right. All right, you saw the cockroach. I gotta pay rent, you know? So, you can fit a lot of cockroaches in the walls. Okay, it's a lot of rent money. Oh, I can't show that, Quang. Chris says, whatever happened to Dr. Wang? It's a good question. A lot of times Dr. Wang will show up towards the end of the lives, but he's married, so, you know, he's beholden to others as well. Respect says, I want to try creatine. I've only ever had muscle milk chocolate flavor. That's a pretty solid one if you're going to go for a protein powder. Muscle milk is probably the tastiest that I've ever had. It usually has higher sugar, but nowadays they don't. I do the Pro series, which is like less sugar, more protein, I think. Creatine's nice. Creatine it basically gives you a couple extra reps per set and maybe like an extra set per workout. So it's not like enormous, but it will definitely help you push past your endurance limits. And the research currently is showing that it's very good for your brain, very protective against things like Alzheimer's and things like that. So, you know, they're investigating it as a nootropic, like a brain food, more than just about your muscles. Okay, go down to the knees. Oof. Oof. Oh my God, okay, hold on. Not done, not done, not done. Oof. Oof. Oh, fuck. Oh, my God. Christ. Look at this shit. Quang says, every time I mac on white girls, I have to compete with their brothers as well. Surfboy says, I'm scrolling. Later, bro. Ride the wave, brother. Too funny. You can probably hear me blowing my nose better too now, huh? All right. Another set of pull. I can't show that one either, Quang, just because of the words. AI will pick it up, but yeah, I think about that too. Respect says, Dr. Wang is having a seminar for extensions. He'll be in to advertise today's sales at some point. Free consults available. Book yours today at drwang.gov. Marcus, don't be like that. Dennis says, yes, call me Daniel. You've earned it. Damn. Thank you. Shit, Dan. Daniel-san. Israel owns America. I wouldn't necessarily argue with that in a lot of cases. Israel's your boss. Not really my boss. Respect says, Gorlock is funny. Yes, that's... See, Respect knew who I was talking about right away. All right, let's do another test real quick. If it doesn't work, maybe I'll have to put the shirt back on. But let's try. Let's try shirt off. Okay. Tell me how the mic quality is here. Quang says, I love Zionism. Daniel says, never mind, he's right, it's Gorlock. Radical says, sorry for being cringe. Look, Radical, it's okay. It's all right. If you saw the average troll we get on here, I don't think you worry about yourself very much. There was a lot of phrenology in jail. Wow. Christopher says, also they say, creatine is good for fighting depression. I didn't know that. That's cool. Daniel says, when he works out, he sounds like he's arriving. I wouldn't say it's one-to-one, but it's maybe in the same sort of ballpark. Yuval says, for some reason I can't see with my eyes closed, you guys. Oh, fuck. Fuck, can you guys still hear me? I won't know until I get to that part of the chat. Yuval says, dad bod. Yeah. Christopher says, wouldn't that be a good movie title? Whatever Happened to Dr. Wang? Starring Betty Davis and Joan Crawford. That'd be dope. Respect says it works still. I suggest a small gold chain around your neck. Ooh. That's not a bad idea. Mom says, hey, sweet white fairy. Wow. I mean, you're not necessarily wrong. I just... Okay. Okay, so we'll do pullovers first. Little pull. No. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Let me see if I have something to hang around my neck. Ooh, you can't see the secret room yet. But I can take you here with me. Where do I have my... That's probably in another bin that I have to go get. Oh, what about this? Is this good content, everyone? Is this good? Oh, yeah, here we go. Here we go. All right. Let's try this. A lot of good testing. I can still hear you. Oh, good. Ebony Warrior says... Randy says, do Tate in jail again, bro. I should. Dennis says, bulge alert? Really? This isn't even, these aren't my best paints. Is that, should we get it like Planet Fitness? Instead of the lunk alarm, it's the, like, the lump alarm? That sounds weird. We'll workshop names for it. Okay, let's see. How's this? Little tiger's tooth. Hopefully it doesn't rub in my chest hair and then have a bunch of static. You'll have to tell me. Iva says, welcome to GayTube. Oh, honey, we've been here. Welcome you to GayTube. User says, you don't look like the type to get backdoored. Do I look like a ballerina? Because I'm one of those. Okay. I think I want to do like flies or something. Yeah. Yeah, fuck it. We're doing pretty good in the workout so far. Okay, is this too much feedback? How do I do this without? Is that too much? Respect says, sending a mental pager out to Jelly, Ola, Clam, Informatory, Brandon, all the gang. Yuval says, oh my god, this guy's clearly on some mad shit stack of roids. Not true. No, not roids. I would tell you if it was, but this is very achievable, naturally. Yuval, how about we have a commercial gym where the link alarm means everyone has to have mad gay relations? Well, I think that's less of a gym and more of a man named Jim. Lank or Lunk, I don't know. Respect says, Jelly already named it. It's called the Dangle Angle. Yes, that's code. Secret code. Like wind talker stuff, right? Okay. We need to do flies, so we're gonna bring the bench out. Let's get this shirt out of here. We don't need that. Okay. Let's see, 5, 10, do I want to do 20? 30 might be a bit much, but I kind of want to try it. Sounds like ASMR. Ooh. And Chris, I thought about like, just reading, you know? Like, just reading out a Poe or something as like a, you know, casual in the background kind of. This might be a lot. Fuck it. You know, but like, the phone microphone doesn't pick up the lowest registers. And I like, the lower I go, the less air I can put into it. So it loses, it only goes so far, you know? Anyway, it's 100 times easier on my throat though. Like, by the end of a 2.5, 3 hour stream, I'm like, I can't talk anymore. Not anymore. See, I used to have to go and do like this thing to get that laugh, but now I can just sit into it. Right? You know what I'm saying? You picking up what I'm putting down? That's probably a lot louder too. Well, now you know what it's like to be me, okay? User says, never mind. Arun says, sir, may I know what you did extraordinary in your life with your what? What does that mean? Kage. Oh, Skage. Welcome. Happy Sunday. Kage says, hey, just got done washing and vacuuming both my dad's and mom's car. Now I'm overheating and sitting in front of a fan eating ice. Well, hey, man. Whatever it takes to get that gaming rig. You know what I mean? I know the deal. I know the deal, Kage. So good for you. You're partway through. Sean says, go put your good ones on. What, the good shorts? Respect says, hi, Kage, which it translated to cake. Kage says, hi, Respect. Oh, Kleptic says, you should read the Epic of Macbeth. Infect all of your viewers. I told you. I get tentacle powers or no deal. Okay? Tentacle arms, underwater breathing, you know, camouflage, something. Even just a good ink spray to escape would be nice. The singing can be so much better now. Starts to dance. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oof. 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 Yeah. Okay. Oh. What are we doing? What? What? What year is it? George Floyd says, bro, why you forget a time where you be gay? You think I've forgotten? If you're forgetting your gay experiences, I don't think you're doing it right. Respect says, ICP Tentacle Cult is back. What? You got the gaming computer. I think Kage's about to get it. Kage says, also, my mom told me that I don't have to mow the whole yard. Just the backyard. It's not that big. I can have it knocked down in an hour. Ooh, damn. I'll say this, Kage. If you did do the front yard as well, without like making a big deal out of it, I think you'd get a lot of brownie points. Kleptic says, I'm not Aquaman. I can't breathe underwater. Well, then what kind of tentacle man are you? Huh? Okay, I'm gonna do maybe one more set like that. I'd love to get an incline. I have an incline bench, but it takes up like an enormous amount of the gym. So it's just not worth it for the one thing. Chris says, which character will you be playing tonight? There's a character you haven't seen, Chris, and I don't think anyone on the channel has seen, really. This is an old character I had I would do in the workplace sometimes. Do you want me to tell you or do you want to see it? Well, here's the problem with the character that I'm thinking of is that the outfit is going to be warm as hell. And it's like, it's supposed to be like fucking 90 something today, I think. So, the character's name, actually you tell me if you want a spoiler and I'll spoil it if you want. Respect says that the vocals are way better now when you're working out. Sounds hot. Well, I should have been doing, I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna dub over all of my voiceover. Well, thank you. Respect says, I agree. Do the whole original job and much more respect will be earned, Kage. Kage says, I would have done the whole yard, but my dad already did it. Well, shit. Well, okay. I guess you just do whatever, you know? I didn't mow the yard growing up because I had severe grass allergies. They seem to have gotten better over the years, but I don't take care of my own lawn now. There's a service that does it for the whole block. So it's a lot of work, particularly spring and summer. Evan says hi. Ooh. Chris says yes, show us. Okay, I'll do the outfit reveal towards the end. Okay, but the character's name is Grandma. Okay? No. I actually, this is important. I need the mic for this. So depending on how my voice is doing later, because I have to do training later for someone else, I might have to save the character for like a Tuesday night. We'll see. But the character is Grandma. Okay? Honey, why don't you do your grandmother a favor and head down to the corner store and pick up a pack of smokes and Grandma's bunion cream, okay? That's Grandma, okay? In a sort of nutshell. Honey, unless you got a pack of smokes, I'm not willing to deal with you today. Respect says, look for something else extra to do that you can see needs to be done, and that will count. Just make it a regular thing to look for stuff to do, and it will pay off. Chris says, Grandma. Yes, honey. What do you mean? Of course you can have as many Fruit Loops as you want. It's fruit, ain't it? That's something my grandmother actually said. We had year-round school, so we had like a month off in January and a month off in summer and a month. So we would go to Grandma's house, and I'd be like, Grandma, can we have a Fruit Roll-Up? And she's like, yeah, I don't care. She didn't have a gravelly voice, but it's funny. She'd be like, I don't care. It's like, could we have two? And she's like, I don't know, there's fruit in it. Why don't you just have as many as you want? And we did, and we got sick, and it was amazing. Rip, Grandma. Titus Brutus says, do you know Dixon My Ass? Hello? I'm looking for Dixon My Ass. Hello? Last call. We're no stranger to Bart Simpson here. Okay. Well, now I'm like, God damn it. I should have had the fucking mic the whole time. Chris says, Respect says, Grandma from the Bronx. Exact. Yeah, Grandma's seen some shit. Chris says, is it like Mama or Medea? More like bitter than like, oh, Medea. You know, it's less physical comedy and more, you know, you can see Grandma's, she loves you, but she's seen some things. Grandma, what big glutes you have. All the better to twerk it, honey. All the better to make it clap. All right. This actually turned out to be the perfect weight. I have to keep reminding myself I don't have to shout. It's the perfect weight for flies. Okay. One more. Oh. Don't black out. Don't black out. Oh. Oh. Christ. You're so funny, Chris. Glippy says, "Have you ever had a dream where you think you could do where you could do anything?" I do have those. Respect says, "Grandma's gonna need a fake cigarette." I have them. You are awesome, bro. Thank you, Titus. Chris says, "Kyle, can you do the physical comedy like Jim Carrey?" Kage says, "You did it." Thank you. Can I do the physical kind of? It would have been better before my back issues because I was really expressive with, you've probably seen, I'm expressive with my head and neck too. You know, I don't talk like this. It's like a whole body thing, you know? So I've definitely lost. Oops. Way. Sorry, what? Yeah, physical comedy. I used to be way more physically comedic, which, I mean, helped when I was in like the theatrical space. But I just can't bend and do the things. I used to be able to do a full ass Matrix lunge backwards, like for real. But I can't anymore, so it pisses me off. You probably hear those better too, huh? Okay. Now I'm gonna do some flies for the shoulders. I might finish with a set or two of like arm stuff, but then we'll do core, move into stretches. We are ahead of schedule. Look at this, what's happening? What's happening? Wait, was this translated, Kage, or did you just say you did it? You did. In Japanese, you would say something like, "Yoko dekimashita." Yatta is hooray. Okay, and boku wa kaminari ni utaremashita kara sora kara atama ga umemashita. That means it's because I was struck with lightning and then my head caught on fire. When my Japanese teacher would ask me like why I'm late to class or something, that's what I'd tell her. I said some fucked up shit in Japanese class. All right. This song is called Rain on Me. Rain on me. Okay, let's. Okay, tries, buys, shoulder flies, core. Then we'll be good. What am I doing? Tries, that's right. You know, like the Dune soundtrack where it's just like desert vibes, like, I love that shit, okay? I love it. I don't care. Kage says, "Anatta ga yatta," as you did it in Japanese. Okay. Our normal tricep move, which I'm feeling very strong on, so I'm gonna. That breath is probably right into the mic, huh? 7, 8. Oh, fuck. Okay. Okay, I'm just gonna do a second set of that instead of pushing. Oh, that's money. That's money in the bank. Chris says, I think you underestimate. I think you could do Cirque du Soleil stuff. Ooh, because you have agility and grace on the rings. Thank you. The level of strength that they would need consistently, because that's the other part too, is like, I might be able to do some of the stuff they do there, but I couldn't guarantee that I could do it 3 nights, you know, like 3 performances over a weekend and a Thursday night show for 52 weeks in a year. That was actually a big contention point when I was dancing, is that I would have back problems and I'd have to miss rehearsals. I actually got threatened that they were gonna fire me because I had too many back problems, but it's like, but you make me carry people on my back and then bend it under load, you know? So it's like, you're causing the back issues, but they didn't want to hear it, you know? It's a side of performing arts you don't really see, is the political, administrative stuff. Oh my God. Okay, now we turn around. Very quick mechanical drop set before we lose the pump. Okay. Oh, fuck. Okay. You know, now that you guys mentioned, I am starting to hear it, okay? Oh. I'm sorry. I tell massage therapists that I'm a vocal releaser. The mic makes a huge difference. Well, now I'm like, God damn it. I've been doing this for months without it, you know, and like just like shouting over my shoulder when I could have just had you nuzzled up, you know, deep in bosom country. You know what I'm saying? And this is so much easier too. And now this is honestly, this is going to enable me to stream more often and for longer. God, been leaving it on the table. Sound is way better. Thank you. I appreciate that. Kage says, Yoku yatta ne, kaeru. Is great job, Kyler. Well done, Kyler. Thank you. I learned in a very formal setting in school. So like, I only learned like the most formal way to say stuff. Like, you say des at the end of every sentence. And then when you start talking to Japanese speakers, they don't just say that ever. And it's like, I don't know anything. It took me a long time to get over like the tabemasu, taberu kind of stuff. It just, you know, we didn't get that far. So, and I stopped studying it once I got out of high school. I tried Duolingo for a bit, and I got a 365-day streak. I didn't know anything extra. You know, Duolingo starts off with like, oh, the phrases you're gonna need to know are like, I am sitting between my mother and father on the couch. My younger sister, it's like, I'm never gonna have to describe that, you know? I need, toire wa doko desu ka? You know, I need that shit, so. Okay. Flies. More streams. Yes, more screams. Okay, better singing. Okay. All right. And again, these are laterals, but I'm externally rotating to protect my shoulder from getting too pinched. User says, are you Indian? Pakistan? Onigiri? I don't think I'm any of those things. Kaga says, I know some Japanese, but not a lot. And it's a lovely language. I love it, honestly. For me, it was way easier to learn than Spanish. I think because Spanish has so much overlap, you know, the Romantic languages all kind of have some overlap. It's like confusing to me, but Japanese is so like, it's very even, right? So it's like, there's 5 vowels. Vowels are paired up with consonants. And it's rhythmic. It makes sense. The grammar's a little weird, but it makes sense to me where it's like, you know what you're talking about before you get to the end of the sentence. Like Ringo ga tabemasu is like apple I eat. You know, it's like, you don't have to wait for the mystery, like, I eat apples. It's sort of different, you know. So it was easy for me to learn, personally. I don't know why, I'm just wired that sort of way. Home Improvement, anybody? Remember TV back when in the Home Improvement days? Kage says, I know more Spanish, but yes, it's confusing. Well, and I don't know if this is Spanish, but like Portuguese, like these languages are gendered. So like, if you say the word for car, you got to call it the masculine. But if you say orange, it's got the feminine suffix, and it's like, where it's like, I say obrigado, and a woman says obrigada, excuse me, something like that, where it's like, that's, you know, come on. Hard to please guy. Fernando de Pessoa only speaks Portuguese. Good. That's all he needs. Okay? He speaks the language of poetry and love. All right, so let's see. We got him at the bottom. 23. Fernando can almost rent a car. 23, that's right. Chris says, are you the only one in your family that does comedy? I mean, yes. I think my dad would love to do comedy, but I don't know if he has the skin for the hecklers and the trolls, right? Like I'm probably the most thick-skinned, I would say, of the people in my family in terms of like random criticism. Can you hear this in the hair? Ernesto says hi. Hi, Ernesto. Kage says, why is it whenever I do bicep curls with my right arm, it feels like my elbow is crunching or pinching the tendon or nerves? Wait, left arm, not right. Hard to please, guy says, but he says your pronunciation sucks, no offense. I wouldn't take offense to that because I'm acutely aware that I'm doing it wrong. I trust Fernando's discernment. Ernesto says, Kyle, you're so handsome. Thank you. Chris says, we hear the hairs. Okay. Tom says, wow, you have a beautiful body. Thank you, Tom. What a beautiful compliment. Kage, if you're feeling crunching or slipping, it might be because that's exactly what's happening. What I would recommend first is play with rotation, right? Like if you're externally rotated extra, you could be crossing something weird. So the first thing I would do is move your angle inward a little bit so that your elbows face a little farther out. It's a little bit safer on the tendons. The other thing I would consider is your grip, right? So like, if this feels bad and this feels good, that tells you it's something about the bicep tendon here. Like something is either too crossed over. Because we think we're all symmetrical. We're not. Like, people have weird asymmetries, and where like the canals of your nerves are like different sizes. Totally a thing, right? My right side is pumped up because of the scoliosis and it's turned in. So like everything's a little off. So it's not that strange. Some people just have random, things that don't cross right. So I would have to, if I was gonna like look at fixing whatever this was, I'd have to know like, does this angle hurt? Does this angle hurt? Does this angle hurt? Is elbows out versus elbows in? These are some of the things where you can kind of identify, and then if you can select out the specific ranges and angles that hurt you, sometimes you can look at what muscles perform that action or cross the joints in that way, and you can kind of like identify what your sticking point is. Ernesto says, Kyle, oh, it didn't translate it. Amo es su corpo, I love your body, and it's super peludo. Oh, and super hairy body, thank you. Oh, there we go. Kyle, I love your ripped and super hairy body. Thank you, Ernesto. Thank you. I appreciate that. I especially appreciate when people that don't speak English continue watching, right? Because I don't speak in other languages. Okay, I'm going to do one more set of flies kind of this way. We'll do a little bit of core. Okay? Because I want to build a little bit of deeper cut in the abdominal so I can carry a little bit of extra, Kage says, I use a book bag full of textbooks and dictionaries because I don't have the money for actual weights. Kage, that's exactly what I did. You can't, there's a cheap way to do it too if like, you can get like milk cartons and fill them with concrete mix. At that point, it's almost easier to just like make your own weights. But yeah, your body doesn't know. Your body only knows how much resistance and force it has to produce. It doesn't know it's in a bag versus in a dumbbell, Take advantage of that. Your body is dumb, okay? All right. Maybe I'll give you the back side, yeah. I have to be careful in these bent over positions, wink. But, trying to cap those shoulders off on the back. And I just need a lot more strength back there. Yep. Oh my God. Huge rear delt pump. Okay. Good. Now we're into core. I feel like when I do the core, not that I need to look as flattering as possible at all times, but when I'm like hanging and stuff, it's just not the most flattering shot of my muscles. I sort of look like a pale bag of pastry frosting. Where's Meg? Meg, where are you? God damn it. Chris says, wait, how does Grandma fit into Sunday Scaries? Well, Grandma could read a Sunday Scary story. I don't know if Sunday Scaries is a regular thing. We're going to need regular stories. Last time it only lasted like 20 minutes or something like that, which, is fine. I don't care. Respect says, can I sing it? I'm your biggest fan. I'll follow you until you love me, Papa, paparazzi, pepperoni. Right, I can sing that without getting copywritten, right? Intentionally says, what's up, dude, at work and can't be watching for a shirtless man currently. What a shame, what a terrible job. BBL, Well, I appreciate you intentionally, thank you for stopping by. Ernesto says, Kyle, how many centimeters are your biceps? I don't know. Let's find out. Let's find out right now. centimeters. We're going right side because that's the big side. Okay. $37 centimeters, which is just over 14. Holy shit! No fucking joke, okay? I measured this like 10 days ago. It was 13 3/4. My biceps, my arms are a ½ inch bigger. What did I tell you about the gains coming back quicker? I'm sorry to strike you like that. I'm just, God, I just know what I'm talking about so much, you know? Kage says, it's funny that I read that comment not realizing it's in a different language. That's how you know you're like, it's actually sticking, you know? Because there's the phase of learning a language where you hear it, and then you do the translation in your head, and then you think the English, and then you translate it back and then say it, right? Just responding without having to do that extra layer is when you know you've like, you're absorbing the language, you know? Very cool. All right, core, that's what we're doing. What are we doing? Oh, I was gonna do another set of the flies too. It's funny that oh, I read that. Ernesto says, wow, and your biceps are big, thank you. Urban says, getting closer to top G, and that. And that. They do look, my arms do look big, right? When it's next to my head, it kind of looks, well, my head's long as hell, so it's never going to be as big, but bulk's bulking. You know what I mean? Okay. I'm going to do some hanging cord. Kyle, you're so handsome and super charming. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're very complimentary. Probably bigger already. Well, Kage, you're the freak of nature. Oh, Urban says probably bigger already. Bigger than top G? Well, he's getting a lot of calories, if you know what I mean. Oh, but there's not a lot of calories in that. That's part of the joke. Okay. Hanging core. I can't wait to like, God, the microphone is just so much easier on me. It's so, oh. I don't have to shout like that. Oh, see, even that, like, I'm on attention. Terrible. I'm gonna bring you closer. You're good to me. I wanna bring you close. What makes your arms look bigger, biceps or triceps? Triceps are 2/3 of your arm. So you get double the size results, right? So, and you get like the big head of the tricep back here. That's where I have most of my size. I have a decent outer head, but that helps, right? So it's 1/3, 2/3. I just have large biceps, so they're not 100% equal. The other thing you can do is work the brachyradialis. I'm losing my definition in the bulk. So in between, there's like this thing here. You can sort of see it starting here. It's in between. So that's when you do hammer curls, right? It's in between under the bicep, and it pushes both the bicep and the tricep out in both directions. So I'd recommend hitting your tricep. Hitting your triceps hard. I forget I don't have to speak loudly. Hit your triceps really hard. Get some good biceps, and then for your forearm work, I would do hammer curl, which is like neutral grip curling. It's gonna hit some of this, it's gonna hit some of this, and you see this goes in here. So I get some extra expansion there. So triceps first priority, second priority, because you're already doing bicep curls, right? So if you just throw in the forearm and brachialis stuff, you know, can you see it on this one? Not really. It sits in between here. When I get really big arms, it starts to pop out as its own thing. I have big outer head tricep, but smaller back one. Okay, so that's probably the extension kind of stuff. That's what's hitting this really hard. For me, what hits this one harder is the pullover thing I was doing earlier. When I was doing this, you can do that against a bench, right? If you just have a bench, you can do these kind of like this. The more you keep your elbows in, the more you're gonna target this head back here. The more out it like takes it into here, right? So tuck those elbows in, close grip push-ups, or you can do like the extensions on a bench or something like that. Those will hit the lower head and dips too. And if you can keep yourself from doing this and you dip like this, I mean, I do a lot of dip pressings. That's where I get a lot of triceps. Chris says, amazing advice on arms. You are the Dave Chappelle of fitness. That's interesting. I've never been called that. That's interesting. Urban says, I've been feeling a bit sluggish myself lately, and it's been a real struggle to get back into the swing of things with the gym. Any tips, Kyle? Yes, absolutely. Let me finish these messages. Ernesto says, I love seeing your biceps and triceps. Thank you. I make sure to flex them every stream. Chris says, you do it. Thank you. Oops. Mwah, mwah, pow, right in the kisser. If you've been feeling sluggish, it really depends on like where that's coming from, right? Is that a physical thing? Like you literally are just, you don't have the, the oomph, right? I would look at your sleep first. If you're not sleeping well, you're losing like 30% of your testosterone and your energy. So good sleep, and every hour, excuse me, every hour that you sleep before midnight is worth more, right? Because if you play in your circadian rhythms control your hormone release. So if you get your sleep right, you get your testosterone right, which increases your energy drive at the right times of the day, right? If you're trying to work out at like 9 p.m. after you've had a long day at work, it's not gonna be as good, okay? And even if you do not do anything physical, being stressed works your nervous system. Thinking hard works your nervous system. So if you work a very mentally laborious job, you will be physically less able to produce and perform. That's just how it is. Because your nervous system works for both your muscles and your brain and everything. So that's where I would look first. Your rest and recovery and your nervous system output. Are you anxious all the time? Are you stressing out about stuff? That's gonna hurt you, okay? If your sleep is good, your stress levels are good, your nutrition and hydration are good, right? Then I would say maybe it's psychological. In that sense, I would look for a reason other than, well, I have to go to the gym. I know I should, right? You need a reason beyond, I know I should be doing this, right? And for me, I found that in things like karate, where it's like, okay, well, I'm seeking something greater, right? So it's like, the motivation is beyond like, well, I should just be healthy or whatever. Like, I should just have a salad sometimes. You know, like giving yourself a reason to go, finding a why, skips you past all the days where it's like, I really don't want to do this. Urban says, yeah, I'm just not feeling up to it anymore, you know? And Urban, I would recommend to change a pace, right? If you've been doing lifting for a million years and you're like, I just don't have the heart for it, switch it up, okay? It's not that, you know, like take up swimming, or I would highly recommend a skill-based sort of class, whether that's boxing or you know, like a sport. I know it's not as easy to find as an adult, you know, organized groups. I think you gotta find a reason why you like something. You know, I love lifting and exercising. So, and there are days where I don't want to do it, okay? Very often I'm like, I wish I could just be one of those people that just dicks around and works out once every 3 weeks, but then I wouldn't look or feel the way I do, so, you know. Working the obliques from the low angle. remaining in the hollow position. This is where I dump it, get it back. Oh my God. Chris says, you really know how to motivate like-minded people with nothing but positivity. Oh, well, thank you, Chris. I often don't feel like I'm a good motivational person because a lot of my motivation comes from within. You know, like I'm bulking up because it's fun. I need a glycogen sink for, you know, just for better blood composition. It's safe for me in a way that martial arts aren't, right? So, and I got good genes for it, so it works out really well. So you know what I mean? Oh, here we go. See, you can kind of see the in-between muscle here. That line here, that's where it is. So, and I've worked that one a lot in my life. I really like that because I'm like predisposed to like having the strong forearm. So I love this for increasing the arm size. And Chris, it's also like I've been non-motivated, right? It's been the dead of winter and the garage doesn't have insulation because it doesn't really get that cold except at 6 in the morning when you're trying to do a 2-hour lifting session. You know, and so sometimes, like a lot of times, here's the other thing, Urban Ape, I would suggest like lean into a fantasy, right? So like you don't need to believe that you are Batman, okay? But it's fun to pretend for a day. And what would Batman do? He'd suck it up, he'd go to the gym and he'd be tough. And you know, if you can just find a motivation, like I'm gonna go Goku mode today, right? If you just get yourself through it, you can surf on uncomfortability with a stupid little idea in your mind like that. So I've had days where it's like, I really don't want to do this, but a Super Saiyan wouldn't skip. So, and then once you get into it and you start it, it's a lot easier, right? It's always worst getting to it. Once you're in the middle of it, it's kind of like work where it's like, I'm already here. I might as well, you know, finish it up. Urban says, I'm pretty wiped out after work, mentally at work, and then I don't want to do anything after work. Chris says, see, that's a troubling spot for me. What's a troubling spot? Respect says, I am Wonder Woman. Yeah, right? I like the choreography from the first Wonder Woman movie. Does a lot of like knee slide shit, very modern dance. It's very cool. Chris says, I'm trying to achieve a lot in the same physical goals, so I appreciate this. Well, good, Chris. And you know, you can always ask me anything specifically, right? Like, I would straight up build a program for you or whatever, right? So if you want me to do something like that, just email me and talk to me. We'll get it working. Your shoulders are really popping. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm trying to get some capping, right? Because I'm broad this way, but my shoulders have never been super developed. So I'm just putting a little more love into them because the pecs are going to come in anyway. The try areas. Oh, yeah. You nailed it. Oh, respect, you're funny. Yeah, Urban. So, what up, Egghead? Thank you, Stang. And this is what I've told people when work is too taxing. Your solution, and this doesn't sound great at first, work out before work. Okay? Now, that means you have to wake up earlier, which means going to bed earlier and, you know, having your coffee and shit, everything earlier. Also means being sweaty earlier. But, and I used to do this, okay, back when I was able to. I would go to the gym at 5 a.m., work out till 6:30, and drive an hour and a half to work. I was too tired after work. Even if I had the same amount of hours, I didn't have it, right? But if you do it before work, it sucks at first, but once you get used to the rhythm and you adjust your rhythms and your pattern, you can have a terrible day at work, and then not only can you go home going like, I am fucking done, right? You've earned the rest. Working out earlier in the day will set up your circadian rhythm so that you get tired earlier. You'll also sleep better. So It sucks at first, but if you want to make sure you still get it in, go before work. And maybe that means you do a little bit less, right? But you already don't want to go. So if it keeps you going, do half of that workout before work. And if you can, fit in the rest over the weekend or something, right? LOL, I didn't know you had a list. They never do, Stang. It's my favorite surprise of the stream. Respect. I love this quote from Respect. This is a classic. It says, quote of the day, don't forget you can find sympathy in between shit and syphilis in the dictionary. That's right. Stang says, I'm up at 5 for work. Makes it hard to exercise. I would need to wake at 4. Yeah, Stang, and that's where it's like, there's just some practical things that are making it, difficult for you. In your situation, I would recommend doing a low frequency, high volume thing. So if that means you can only get to the gym twice a week is the minimum effective dose generally. You can make progress on one set a week. But if you want to actually make like progress where you see it happening, 2 times a week per muscle group is sort of the minimum effective dose generally. Okay, I respond to a little bit less, but I've been doing this for decades. So do the minimum amount. Do bench, squat, row, and then do arms and calves on the other day. That's all you can do, right? You'd be surprised at how much you can maintain with very little effort. Kage says, my end goal for bigger arms is the 17th. Like, of this month? That's very soon. Ernesto says, I love seeing you like this, my friend Kyle. Oh, thank you. And I love being seen by all of you. I like hanging out with you guys. It's fun. I'm gonna do some low abs. Stang says, true, I got 2 telework days. I can push start time an hour. And Stang, if that just means you just hit the basics, look, Stang, I lost a bunch of muscle because I stopped lifting and then I got back into it, right? I did strong lifts, 5x5, where it's bench, squat, row, and then I did an arm movement just because I wanted one. I put on like 30, 40 pounds of muscle just from that program. So you can get it in an efficient way. You'll still have to push yourself, but honestly, you can use those days off as rest days. That's when you're growing anyway, right? If you work out 7 days a week, you are not gonna get bigger because you don't ever do the building portion. Kage says, yeah, that's when I go back to school. Well, why don't you just keep it going, Kage? You can have slightly bigger arms. Well, I say that, I'm talking about the average person, but you have already demonstrated above average, strength and everything, so hell, maybe you can do it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to engage and then lift the legs, right? Instead of curling under, I'm gonna try and keep a little bit of arch in the back. Two more. That's when I go back to school, yes. Chris says, this is like fitness church today. You're on fire. Are you on fire for the Lord your God? Worship at the Iron Temple, okay? Now today, we lift our prayers to Woden, okay? God of gains. May we all be blessed at the Iron Temple, okay? Way men. Kage says, I already have a bicep vein showing through on my right arm. Nice. Nice. I don't really get my veins are like up here generally. I don't really get the veiny buys until I get super lean. I can sometimes get vascular in the forearms, but I mean, you can see a little bit there. Well, Kage, maybe you're just a freak and you can get everything faster than anyone, you know? Ernesto says, what a handsome, incredibly strong man. Oh, thank you. My strength's all right. It's not what it used to be, but it doesn't need to be, you know? Worship at the Iron Temple, exactly. Woden, I call him Broden. All right, I think he'd approve. Wayman. Okay, stretch time. And then I gotta get back to work for a bit before Sunday Scaries. Kage says, I mean, I picked up a 200-pound person and threw him across a room. That was over a year ago. Kage, I think you might just... Have you been bitten by any spiders recently? No reason. No reason I would ask something like that, of course. Yeah, and I used to wear glasses, and now I have 25 vision. I like the freaks. Okay, Kage. The closer someone is to a mutant, right, like X-Men, the happier I am. All right, little stretch. LOL, nope. Aw. Well, maybe it's not spider powers you got, maybe it's something else. What do you think, chat? Do we have enough scary stories for Sunday Scaries? Well, Sunday Scary Stories can be different from Sunday Scaries. All Sunday Scaries means is that feeling of like, well, it's technically the weekend, but it's almost work on Monday, so it doesn't feel like it. I'm scared, right? That's my understanding of Sunday, getting the Sunday Scaries. It's good to stretch, you know? Good to stretch. How are we looking here? We did GAMS yesterday, so I'm not really sore. So that's, you know, it's fine. I kind of like it when I'm sore. That's what he said. See, now you can hear my whispers, right? Whispers. Kage says, actually, funny thing is that I do have better than 20/20 vision. Nice. My eye doctor was shocked at how sharp it was, despite being colorblind. That sucks. Well, it means you can't be a pilot, right, Kage? But, you know, is that the thing you can, like, would that mean you're disqualified for something like the draft? You haven't had to sign up for the draft yet. Respect says, tonight's Sunday Scary theme, 1,000 ways to cry. Oh, man. 1, weeping. 2, wailing. Oh, you crack me up, Respect. So funny. Your emoji game is very good, too. Mine is not. I know the angle isn't best today. Well, we got a little bit of something, you know? Tomorrow will be another leg day. will be glute adductor focused. Okay. I'm just goofing at this point. Chris says, I thought Sunday Scaries was basically the mood. Then the show just takes its own direction. That's a good way to think about it, Chris. Um, the lives always do kind of take a direction, and I like that. You know, it's like I don't know where it's going, but I don't know who's going to be in chat. I don't know who's going to challenge my combat effectiveness or whatever. Short shorts wouldn't work in a street fight. Yeah. Okay. Next time I get into a street fight, I'm just going to explain to them how none of the things that they're throwing at me would work. Respect says Sunday Harry's. Sounds fun. Oh man, that's good. Good title too. I used to the way I title the streams is almost the way I used to title. Every day I would create a chat for everyone on the team, and you can name the chats, right? So I would usually use a song quote and then replace one of the words with the word chat. You know, like you'll be in my chat always, or you know, chat me baby one more time. Things like that. So, and the more I stream, the more titles I'm gonna have to have, you know? Sunday Harry's is pretty good. The fucking hold the helicopter, right? Huh? Under pressure. Me. Oh. When I undulate holding the tripod, you don't see all of it, you know? See, and I used to like really undulate through the spine and do these crazy things. I just can't anymore. I can't. I'm forbidden from using my greatest abilities. Don't push back. Don't push back. That's the minute. Oh, what are we all doing for lunch before Sunday Scaries? I think I'm gonna have to make my classic sweet potatoes, some of that ground beef. You know how we do. Can you guys still hear the music? I'm eating chicken. Oh. Lean protein, good for you. Respect says yes. Pasta. Ooh, yes, good. Man, you can really see the hair on like a, it's like my cartoon outline, you know? Mmm. pigeon. My grandmother gave me this tiger's tooth. Tiger's eye is a big thing on that side of the family. That and jade. I have a jade ring. I never wear it though. I'm not huge on jewelry. A lot of it's because I've been like very active and like gripping things with a ring on really sucks. That's why a lot of athletes get the silicone ones. Respect says every chat has its thorn. Yeah, so you understand. That's a good one. It's very clever. See, I dance with my whole body. Shut the fuck up and dance. Good, Respect. Chats just want to have fun. See, you understand perfectly. You understood the assignment. Baby, there's a chance. See, that's my whole trap. Most of it's down there. Pigeon. Kage says, I'm mowing the yard around 7-ish. I think you're ahead of me though, aren't you, Kage? We'll do Sunday Scaries probably between 7 and 8 p.m. is when we'll start, Pacific. We'll probably go for somewhere between 2 to 3 hours. Respect. Just chatted here. Chris says, thank God it's chat day. You guys understand? Kage says, yeah, it's 3:31 p.m. Ah, okay. So we'll probably, you'll probably be long done. Well, good for you. Then all of it'll be done, right? Or do you have another part of the arrangement to complete? Respect says, hee hee. You know how bad I want to sing the Human Nature song? It's been popping off all over social media. I'm just belting it in the shower. That was another like separate maybe channel idea I had, was like just singing in the shower. It's raining chat. Hallelujah. Kage says, nope, just the backyard. Then I get the gaming laptop. Not a bad deal, my friend. Not bad at all. Okay. Well, chat, you're on fire, but it's about time for Zaddy Zensei to get his grub in. I've got to do some personal training this afternoon. Later this evening, between 7 and 8 Pacific Standard Time, we will be going live. Chat bless America. Exactly, Chris. Well, if you can make it later, I'd love to see you there. If not, no worries. I'm going to try and get to the point where I stream maybe almost every day. We'll see how it goes. But next stream is later tonight. If you can't make it tonight, we'll be doing leg day tomorrow night. Tuesday, we'll also have another stream, so. Kage says, later, Kaio. Respect says, peace and heart. I love you all, okay? Good luck on your chores, everybody. And we'll reconvene for the Sunday Scary Safety meeting later. Ah, thank you, Respect. Respect says, I pray for food, water, shelter, guidance, and protection for everyone on this beautiful planet. Mwah. That one's just for you. That one's for everyone else. I don't know who that's for. Bye. I'll see you later. Bye.